I love buying physical games, and they can be really expensive, meaning that if I want to find a deal, I have only one place to turn. I am the Game Collector, and this is Second Opinion Games, and today I go looking for deals on the Nintendo eShop.
Second Opinion Games.
If you love retro computers, well, Saboteur can only be had for a few pennies, and the graphical style is done up as the ZX Spectrum. You can push up the jump as well as having a jump button itself, and the other button is for action, usually punching things or picking up bricks and throwing them, or throwing ninja stars. You play as a ninja that has to sabotage something and then make it to the exit. You'll be beating up guys along the way, as well as taking bite marks from freaking dogs that you can never seem to beat up. However, your health does regenerate over time. If you don't like the ZX Spectrum style too much, well, you could always upgrade to the Commodore 64 graphical style. And yeah, I even found some glasses in this special area where it talks about supercharging the graphical style of the entire game. And when I tried it out, yeah, it's Amstrad style graphics. Yeah, this is a game for people that strictly love their European-style computers that weren't so popular over here in the States. For a few pennies more, we have Saboteur II. And oh my god, from this opening start screen, this is gonna be amazing graphically. And we jump into it, and it looks like an IBM-compatible style. Yeah, but this time around, the music is super over-the-top rockin'. And you are a girl power ninja this time around, and you're out to saboteur something and make it to the exit all over again. This time with just a little bit better graphics and a whole lot better sound. And then I just run around and fall down an elevator shaft and die. You still have the regenerating health, but it doesn't do anything against elevator shafts. It's an okay game. Ball Boy is a point-and-click horror survival puzzle game with very simple controls with a few little tricks up its sleeve, like being able to take off your head and throw it to different places and control your character with ease. Now, controlling this little cute dude means that he is going to explore the environment, and being that he's just a kid, you're going to have to figure out creative ways to make it through the entire level of the game. And it plays terrifically, and the storytelling here is where it really shines. Even though there's no actual voice acting, you're never confused of what's going on, and it just remains a total masterpiece. But I like games that are a bit faster with a lot more platforming, so I wonder which direction we could really take this into. Urban Trials Playground seems to take place in the suburbs, where you have the most unlikable character ever. And if you complete a couple missions, well, then you can upgrade him with different costume changes that makes him even more unlikable. And thank goodness I don't like this kid at all, because I am going to be wiping out freaking non-stop in what is a rather hard 2D action platforming game where you just try to make it to the finish line. Well, not always. Sometimes there are trick levels and other levels where you try to destroy different things. So there's plenty of variety here, and there's also tons of missions to go on, and you could jump into many of them from the very start of the game. You could also switch to a girl if you really hate her and want to see her break her neck over again as well. And yeah, this is really fun, and I even laugh sometimes when I don't make it to that finish line, just because I like to watch these people suffer so bad because I hate them so much. Hey, and if I do happen to complete a level, well, good for me. Moving on. But I gotta say, I like my games with just a little bit more firepower. So, what then? Smooth. Gunpowder on the Teeth Arcade. It's a game with little tiny army men running through a souped up Game Boy style game where you have to mow other people down with your machine guns, run through barbed wire. Well, actually don't run through it or you'll explode and die. Yes, barbed wire is your worst nightmare in this game. You have to plant charges to blow up things, plenty of collectibles like dog tags to pick up along the way, and precision platforming truly is the name of the game. Even when you get to the chopper at the end of the level, you have to be careful not to jump into the stinking blades because then you'll have to start nearly all the way back at the beginning. Yes, this is an extremely difficult action platformer with a heavy emphasis on the platformer and running at full speed at all times. But maybe this game is way too difficult for you, but you want to still control little tiny army men that everyone can enjoy. Well, what then? Tiny Troopers XL Joint Ops. This is a twin-stick shooter where you have little army men running to complete missions. After you beat a mission, you'll level up. But don't become too attached to these little guys because when they're dead, you're going to have to recruit another person to take his place. Unless, of course, you've collected enough dog tags to revive that little character, so you're going to have to explore every single mission along the way. And you can level up in between different missions, so make sure that you put a lot of your money in speed right off the start because there's also a score multiplier so you could get more cash to upgrade even more. If you're feeling particularly outgunned in a mission, well then you could do a supply drop to pick up rockets to take out any obstacle in your way. After all, you can't spend that money if you're dead. And if you want to experience a different side of things, well there's even zombie modes in here too where you can run through a whole level playing against zombies. And there's even a horde mode too to get your full practice on and really keeps you learning the ins and outs of the game. This is an army game that literally anyone can enjoy because you could set the level of difficulty to fit your own needs. But if you wanted something even cuter, not that there could be anything cuter than these little guys, well, I recommend you check out Blazing Beaks. This is a little bit like Binding of Isaac, except for the fact that you're playing with birds instead of a little kid that likes to cry all the time. And of course that you can play up to 4 players. Now most of the items in this game don't help you. They actually hurt you, increasing the challenge exponentially into a game that's already really difficult. But you're going to want to pick them up because you could trade in those nasty items for good items at the store that you will eventually make it to. And if you pick up enough coins along the way, well then you can pick up a new gun too, with maybe spread shot or just a lot more powerful, or ice shots. There are plenty of different characters to choose from, each with their own abilities, and a lot more to unlock. There's also tons of different enemies and huge boss battles in this game, and everything is randomly generated, so there's nearly endless possibilities, and it's like really cheap, only like $2 or less on the stinking eShop. But I want even cuter games, dagnabbit! So what am I supposed to do? Okay, too cute. Too cute. I went way too cute here. Galguns 2 is an on-rail shooter where you have an euphoria gun where you shoot girls in various parts of their body to make them scream out with extreme joy before they eventually just dissolve and go away because they're trying to kiss you, and you can't have any of that. Of course, they're being controlled by little demons, which sometimes you have to shoot them off of the girls and then vacuum them up with your little vacuum cleaner gun thing. Yeah, one of the things that I was blown away about this game was the fact that it's a little bit more deep than just a regular point-and-click shooter game. Yeah, there's other elements here, like a full-fledged story mode, which means that you try to win win over these girls by going through their hearts, you know, the right way. Like buying them presents and giving them tons of candy, and hopefully then they will like you. I also like how the Nintendo Switch uses the gyro controls to move the game around, because I like playing light gun shooters, and that's kind of my biggest complaint about this entire game, is the fact that you can't play it one-handed. I mean, like a real light gun shooter. No, you have to play two-handed because you also have to use that vacuum cleaner. And don't be so dirty here, guys. This game has a reputation for being really lewd, but it's really not all that bad. And it's very good in extremely small doses. After all, the girl screaming kind of gets on my nerves after a while. So I'm going to have to play something really manly now in order to get this taste out of my mouth. Mcus Termination Force, from the creators of Gunman Clive. Imagine a Contra game where you only have the bosses to worry about, and these bosses are giant robots, and in themselves are puzzles with multiple forms that you have to try and figure out. You don't just have your guns here, no, you also have a baseball bat or some type of melee weapon that you have to hit the flashing red thing, and then it blows apart, and it is super satisfying. You collect coins along the way, and with these coins you could buy more hearts or more powerful weapons. You could even replay bosses that would give you tons of problems earlier, but now you could just speed through them in absolute no time. This is one of the best action-packed monster-killing games of all times, standing alongside games like Contra 3. I appreciate the challenge here. I love how beautiful and bright the graphics are, and it can be found for a very low cost on the eShop. Matter of fact, this might be the very best downloadable game for the Nintendo Switch. But of course, that's just my opinion. Thanks for watching. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I had a great time making it. I bought every single one of these games combined for less than $30, and I would do it all over again, even for a slightly higher price. Galgun wasn't as dirty as the game as I thought it was going to be, and is actually quite playable, but Mcus Termination Force, oh my god, this is simply one of the best games I think I've ever played in my entire life. So if you think you know of an eShop game that's even better than these, well, let me know. And hopefully they're cheap too, because I like saving money. So until later, I will see you again, guys.